Welcome back to another Mommy and Me Monday. You already know this is the Mommy and Me podcast. I am Brii Renee.
And I am the original Miss Renee.
Yes, and we are back with another multi-generational conversation where we talk all things from motherhood to relationships to our community to entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and business. So I think we've been learning and growing a lot this season. This is our first season. We almost are coming up on the last week or two of our first season. I'm proud of us for pushing through. I think we got like 15 episodes in, which was difficult at times.
Very.
But we've overcome. We did a lot. We have a new content creation space that we're gonna rent out. That we're currently renting out. So if you in the Atlanta area and need a space to create your content, pull up to the content crib.
Or to shoot a movie.
A
scene, or you got a new show that need a new home.
Yep. Podcasts, social media content, TikToks, movies, full-length feature films, episodic episode type shows, or even if you want to have like a small little intimate event. I think I might have like a little event here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're available. So hit us up, Content Crib. Let me know. But yeah, so speaking of that, that's like a new, well, we kind of birthed two businesses together.
We did? What two of those?
Mommy and Me Pod is a business.
Yes.
It ain't
and the
content space.
Yeah, the Content Crib.
Yeah. That's two businesses we've done together.
Yeah.
I'm proud of us. We pivoted our way into these businesses. So I want to talk today a little bit about, if you haven't done so, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those post notifications so you never miss a Mommy and Me Monday. But today I want to talk a little bit about entrepreneurship and specifically about how to create multiple streams of income, or how do you do that, the importance of that, and knowing when and how to pivot in business or in entrepreneurship.
Well, the knowing when to pivot is going to vary from situation to situation. It may be as a result of you made one business successful, something happened and causes you to have to figure something else out. Not to say that business was a failure or that business is no longer existing. Likewise, I created a business in the construction industry for other personal reasons. I'm no longer associated with that business. And so now I've pivoted to the content creation space and the podcasting space. And I enjoy it. So there are going to be different reasons that you pivot.
I am cracking up.
Well, there's going to be different reasons for pivoting. Mm-hmm. But I would say to anybody, don't be afraid, because if there's a vision out there, if you can perceive it, you can receive it. Mm-hmm. So you can't be afraid to put one foot in front of the others. Nothing beats a failure but a try. So I say to anybody, if you have a dream and an aspiration and a desire to do anything, don't go into it with the understanding that it's all about the dollar, because it's not.
Yeah.
This dream, this creation of this podcast space wasn't about me and you making money. This was about me making use of space that I had already. It started out with me thinking that I was going to rent the space out for one reason, for one purpose, and you had a vision to do something else, and I didn't push back on the vision, and I said, let's run with it. So from that, we've been able to create this vision together, and we're making the best of it.
Yeah.
So you just got to be willing to move, do what feels good. And I just say, give it 110%.
Yeah, I think
you and I were fortunate enough to you were fortunate enough to whereas we already owned the space. Mm-hmm. And we were able to do what we wanted to do in the space and be a little bit creative to make it work for us. And for those that don't own the space, don't be afraid to go out and acquire the space, or go out and rent the space, or go out and use the space. find a space that you can rent, use until you're able to obtain your own.
Yeah, because the space that we were renting was somebody else's rented space.
Yes.
We were renting it from somebody who was renting.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't have to own the space.
No, you don't have to own the
It
space.
literally came from our first episode we were renting, and she was like, "You're paying how much for this space for today only, or for this amount of hours?" And I told her, and she was like, "I got a space that we could do this in." And
Yeah, let's turn it into it. Let's do it. I mean, look at the savings and then look at the endless possibilities.
yeah,
Mhm.
and so that's why I have been, for me, it's hard for me to multitask on big projects at the same time, because when I'm locked in, I don't want to do anything but that one. Like if I'm here today, present filming, I don't want to put out a fire doing anything else. Anything else will have to wait. I like being 100% present in the moment. I think that's how I leave a lasting mark when it comes to filming or even engaging with people. That is my gift. I'm 100% present. And so for me, it is hard to juggle multiple businesses sometimes or projects at the same time, because when I'm working on one, and it didn't have to be like, oh, in my life right now, I'm working on me and me, but it's like, and so nothing else can come in. No, I could do that, but I can only do like 1 or 2 things a day.
That's because you need a team to help do that.
Yeah, I don't have my team yet.
Yeah, you need a team.
Yeah.
We all can only do so much. We
Mhm.
need a team. We need a team.
So before you start managing or getting out multiple businesses,
As you grow, as you build,
yeah, you need a team.
incorporate a team, people to help you
Yeah.
along the way.
I have Kaylin and Courtney. Them is my only 2 people, and I try.
That's your
not to
team.
Even, but I feel
But now,
like I
as you
yeah,
grow a
you
little
have
more,
the finances to like fully.
quit saying what you don't have. You got to have faith that your finances are coming so that you can grow that team.
Finances need to read up,
Well,
because I need 2 assistants at this point.
yeah. And sometimes I think I need a person.
I feel like Kaylin is my PA, my production assistant. Like she can be there on filming days and help orchestrate things. But then I have Courtney, who's more like an administrative assistant,
Yeah.
who will handle all the emails and the corresponding and
Yeah.
my schedule. And
Right. And you may need another assistant to do something else. I have a lot of assistants. And I still think I need,
make everybody an assistant.
I just think, and I still need somebody to help me even, do my day-to-day stuff.
How much do you think, or when do you think to get it's time to build out a team?
When you realize I need help, I can't do it all. You start building your team at that point. People that you can count on, rely on to do certain things for you. And that goes hand in hand with pivoting. I say, start from scratch. Figure out what it is you want to do and figure out how to make it come true.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And don't pursue, and I'd say this anytime you talk to me, you meet me, don't pursue it just because you think you're going to make a lot of money at it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it.
Yeah, no, like you said, when we started the content space, we weren't thinking about money.
No.
Well, we were thinking about saving money,
Right.
Yeah, not necessarily making money. But now that's what I'm saying with this new season, with the end of Black Girl stuff coming up and we're getting a break on that season. And then we're coming up on the end of our first season of this. I want to take a couple weeks where we're not putting out content so I can really focus on getting this place booked.
Yeah.
And consistently bought out.
Mm-hmm. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, it'll be here. But I think that knowing, for me, when I think of pivoting too, in my career, the biggest time that I've pivoted recently is when I left the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And having to pivot. It was listen pros and cons, and I had to sit down with my counsel, which I consider on my counsel is you, my manager, Meek, other people that I respect or opinions I value in the industry who've been doing it a little bit longer. I sat down with my counsel and I asked you guys individually and had conversations with y'all about whether or not you thought it was time for me to leave the station. Had I outgrown it? could I value anything from staying there and stuff like that. So having that conversation, having people that you respect their opinions on, I feel like can help bounce off ideas or
Absolutely.
help you let you know when it's time to pivot or how to pivot or help you see things that you can't see.
Absolutely. Everybody needs a counsel in their life, period.
Every king and queen in history has ever had a counsel.
Always had a counsel, because
Even Jesus had disciples.
absolutely, because there are things that we don't know. No, I mean, even in creating this space, there are a lot of things I don't know.
You don't. And I'd be like,
And-
please don't do nothing else without calling me.
You know, there's a lot of things you don't know. We rely on those people with those expertise to teach us, help us along the way. And so that's what people got to really not be afraid to do, is reach out and ask someone.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, you got to ask. You don't know, you got to ask. I don't pretend to know everything.
So if you're on the fence about whether or not it's time for you to pivot in your career and your dream, I think that sitting down with the counsel that you respect
And take that leap of faith.
and also taking their criticism.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and I go back and I have to say that one of the lessons I was taught very early on in life is to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Bet on yourself and trust in God.
Right.
Because if you don't, no one else will.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to work harder for you than you. Nobody.
Do you ever get burnt out?
Yeah.
What do you do when you get burnt out?
Rest. Take a break. Step back. Some days take a day off from it. Go do something fun.
I feel like I'm kind of getting burnt out. Not in a major burn. Trust me, I've been burnt out before. But like right now, I feel kind of like creatively
Tired.
I'm tired.
Take a break.
I want a break. But I want like a real break. Like I want like
Take a
I
break.
need like 2 weeks where I don't got to do nothing
Take a break. Take a vacation.
and go on vacation.
Yeah, take on vacation.
That's
Go
what
on
I need.
vacation.
It's about time. Cause I try to go on one once a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the last time I went somewhere was January. Yeah, it's
Take a
about
vacation.
time for me to go somewhere again. I think that's what it is. I think that, but for those who can't get away
Learn a new sport.
and take a vacay, what's something that they could do to prevent burnout? Or not prevent it, because I think that is normal. That we'll all get burnt out.
You know what I've started doing?
What?
Now that I have more time on my hand, playing golf. Something I've always wanted to do.
With those knees?
Yes.
Okay.
Playing golf.
It's a
We
golf
bought-
range too.
Yeah, we bought it. Jackie and I bought a set of golf clubs, and after playing in the dirt, we're gonna go play golf.
They said
I'm waiting for her to get her hip replaced this week, and we're hitting the golf course.
they say big business is made on the
All
golf.
kind of deals are made on the golf course, so I'm gonna go make some big major deals. And let me tell you another business that
make some big.
let me tell you another business that I'm starting.
What?
It's called Build Your Own.
Okay.
It is.
Do you own the name before we put that out there? But you will by the time we do.
Yeah.
Okay. Build your own. What is build your own?
For all of those people that are eager to build their own homes, renovate their own homes, do some major construction, they'll be able to hire a consultant, and you'll pay initial consulting fee, and that consulting fee will go towards the ultimate cost of the product, and you'll be able to get your hands dirty. Somebody will be there with you the entire step along the way, and to build whatever, to recreate whatever you desire to do.
I like that. I might be one of your first clients.
Yeah, absolutely.
Build your own, and this is how you can build your own house.
Absolutely. This is how build your own space, build your own house, build your own whatever. Yeah.
Build your own.
Yeah.
What made you come up with this?
Because that's something I love to do.
Build.
I love to do.
I've been telling you that.
I love to be I'm very creative with my hands. I can see it, I can visualize it, and I can tell you how to do it, how to put it together. And I have a hell.
Is that 10x4 and that your 2 screw hammerhead?
No, I have a crew that I wouldn't trade for the world, and we've been together for the last 20 years, and there's literally nothing that this crew and I can't do.
They literally built everything that y'all see right now.
They literally built every house I've lived in for the past 20 plus years. We've built, we've renovated, we've done a lot of things together.
Everything, all the way down to fixing my garbage disposal.
Absolutely. And you know what? When they talk about flip this house, that shit should have been me.
Yeah.
Many, many, many years ago. And I passed up on the opportunities.
Well,
don't
miss your blessings, sweetheart.
Oh no, I didn't miss my blessing because what God has for me is for me.
Yeah.
And we're rolling that program out. I've already got people now that are trying to, I've got probably a good 30, 40 people right now that are interested and that are committed to subscribing and willing to pay the initial fee. And it's not for everybody, because one thing I'm confident of, and one thing that I assure people of, is that when I finish with the project and when we finish with their project, they're going to go into that project with more equity than they would have had they went and bought the house traditionally. Because 90% of the time when people buy houses, they go into them, they have no equity. It takes them years to build their equity in their homes. Do it our way, and you go in with instant equity.
Okay.
You go. In essence, it's a concept where we're taking out the middleman.
Right.
You become your middleman. You put all the equity back in your pocket. You save your money. Yeah. So for all those that are interested,
is there like a certain amount of money that you need to start with?
Depends on what you want to do. Depending on what your budget is will determine what our fees are. And whatever the budget is, if it goes over that, you will pay. Yeah, we're going to charge a flat fee, a flat percentage of whatever the cost of the budget is.
Do you?
And you pay a percentage of that up front to lock in your space, that commitment that we're going to work. We don't want those people. If you can't afford our services, then we don't want you to nickel and dime us to death. We're not going to nickel and dime you to death. Here's what you're going to do to pay to get on our list, on our line, and we're going to walk you through the process from the beginning to the end. And you're going to control the process. Not me. You and your budget. Your time frame will control your process.
Okay. Do you feel like every good idea you have, you should execute it into a business? Like every idea for business you have should be...
Every good idea I've had didn't grow to the point of a business, no.
So how do people know to distinguish between an idea or business they should be pivoting towards versus that just sound good?
You got to go through it. You got to do some analogy. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Is it something that will be a benefit of value? Is it something that can be of use? Or is it just some crazy idea that I have that I can't bring to fruition? So you got to weigh all of those things. And if you're able to bring it to fruition and it's something that you can make a living at, something that's going to benefit somebody, then it may be something that may be a demand for it.
Okay. That's fair. So you got to answer a couple questions.
Yeah.
Have you always went through that checklist every time you pivoted from career to career?
Yes. Can I make a living at it? Is it something that's in demand? Is it feasible? How expensive is it going to be? What is it going to require of me? Am I capable of delivering? Those are all the questions that you got to answer. What is it going to take for me to deliver? And then that sometimes you still got to go back to your counsel and say, hey, does this make sense? Is this something you think is feasible? Get a different perspective.
Sometimes you got to go to your counselor and say, I need to borrow something. What you got on my pivot?
Sometimes. It
I
depends.
Have 5 on it.
It depends. It just depends on what that pivot is.
What if everybody in your counselor be like, oh, hell no? Have you ever had an idea that you didn't think or that you thought was good, but everybody in your counsel was like, no, and then you pursued it anyway?
No, because somebody's got to be the wiser.
So you feel like everybody can't be lying.
Everybody can't be lying. If everybody's telling you no. I mean, I've had some ideas. I've been so pissed off, in some situations in my life recently that I'm like, I want to sue every goddamn body's involved. Everybody that's touched it, everybody that thought it, everybody had anything to do with it, I'm ready to sue their asses. And I'm ready to, just a matter of my lawyers filing the paper, then my other lawyers, and everybody said, nope, not a good time. Hold off, wait.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be like, God, I'm ready. But you got to back up. You got to listen.
What's something you wish you had pursued and didn't? Or maybe pursued something sooner?
I try not to have any regrets in my life about something I wish I had pursued sooner or something I wish I hadn't pursued.
Or you think could have been a lot further along had you went through with that sooner?
I don't know, because I truly believe that everything happens in divine order. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. I may have, wanted to do something, but I've always felt like if and when it's meant to be, it'll be.
Yeah.
So I don't go through life regretting, saying, oh man, I should have did this. I would have been not. No, I just, that's not me. I'm not that person. If I went after something, I did it. If it was meant for me to accomplish, I did it. And if it wasn't, it wasn't, And I just think that it happened because that's not what God had in store for me. And I don't regret things. Even things that have not been to my good, even things that have hurt me, even things that, even relationship with people that have hurt me and that have caused me harm and have caused me, a great deal of heartache and pain and a lot of other things. I still don't regret it because it's necessary to get me to a point. It's necessary there's a lesson in it all. God is trying to tell me something, show me something. And even if it's just to build my faith, sometimes we think, our faith is this and our faith is that, but sometimes our faith has to be tested.
Yeah.
And so when you go through those times and those tribulations, it enables you to go back, to that beginning, go back to that faith and go back and understand that it's going to work out for my good. I've got to put my faith back into my Almighty. I was talking to some people last night, and I was, dealing and reflecting on a personal situation. And there is something particular that we were talking about, and it dawned on me that in order for me to benefit from this situation right now, this happened, God put this in motion years before I was even born or thought about, because he knew that this very day would come.
Yeah.
And I began to say, and it brought me back to a point of realizing that God got me. Yeah. My faith is, my faith in God, it was just, I felt renewed in a sense. It's like, wow, ain't God good?
Yeah.
Because he knew that this day right here would come. And I would need this very thing right here. But yet he put this in motion even before I was born.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, thank you, Lord. I realize that, he's awesome. So have faith in yourself, believe in, you trust in God, understand that, don't regret things that you've gone through. Don't regret your path and the things that you passed up or didn't come or so I don't go through life wishing I had done this or wishing I had done that or regretting I did this, because it worked out in divine order. And it's always going to work out in divine order.
Okay. That's real. I think that another thing that I would add when it comes to pivoting from career to career or business, or from expanding in business, is pivot while you still got the ball in your hand. Meaning, like, don't quit completely one job or business or wait till that's over to start something new.
Sometimes you may have to. You got to pivot when you pivot. I don't say,
Okay.
I don't think that
Okay.
you can ever plan a perfect moment
To pivot.
I think when life deals you lemonade, you make lemons out of it. When life deals you lemon, you make lemonades out of them. So the reason you pivoted might be as a result of receiving some lemons. But yet you took them lemons and you squeezed them, and now you were able to make lemonade, and you pivoted to another position, and now, voila.
You're right. Sometimes you don't have the choice to plan.
You don't.
But if I do have the choice to plan, I want to get one.
Believe it, but you know what? Sometimes if you do have the choice, you'll sit right there and be content. You won't move. Sometimes things in life force you to pivot, and you got to be willing to go.
You're right.
See, sometimes we sit back and we've gotten so comfortable in our little cocoon, and things are going well, and you're making X amount, and things are happening, and life is grand, life is perfect, and you'll sit there. When God's got something else he needs you to do, and you don't know what it is, you don't have a clue about what it is, then all of a sudden, the rug is snatched from under you, and guess what? You find yourself pivoting.
Yeah.
And you go forward and you make lemonade out of the lemons that you've just been dealt.
Like, he forces you.
He forces you.
He throw the lemons at you like, boo, tomato, tomato. But it's like lemons.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? You say, thank you, Lord. Because, see, what I've learned is no matter what you dealt with, no matter what is thrown at you when it comes to pivoting, as long as you know who you are and who you belong to, it doesn't matter what is thrown at you. You're going to be okay.
I think I'm at that point where I know that.
You're going to be okay. Because regardless,
like, I've survived 100% of
God,
trial and tribulation.
Because God got you.
Yeah.
God got you.
He's shown me.
He has shown you time and time and time again.
Yeah.
I've
seen it with my own eyes.
So what that does is that gives you, and people like to call it arrogant, it gives you the confidence.
It's confidence. It's like, I know I have the confidence in God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it gives you the confidence to walk that walk. It's like, wow, everything you're going through, and the world is looking at you, and they're beating you down, the world's talking shit about you, they're throwing everything at you, they're treating you bad, but yet and still you holding your head up.
You have confidence in it.
And you have confidence.
They say, oh, you handle that with such grace. It's not grace. It's confidence that I know God gonna get me through it.
God got me.
Yeah.
God got me.
He's always had me.
Always had me.
Yeah.
And he's going to continue to, because let me tell you something. As long as I continue to be the person that I am, I live by my principles.
Yeah, my moral code.
My moral code. Nothing anybody can do is going to hurt me. You may cause me some damage. You may cause me some harm. You may cause me to stumble. I may even fall. But guess what? My God has the ability to pick me up, dust me off,
and make me whole again.
Make me whole again. And when he makes me whole again, my wholeness will far outweigh anything you've taken from me.
Yeah. And sometimes he allows these circumstances to happen to take things from you so that they can be removed so he can make room for what you really deserve.
Absolutely. Even bigger and better. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's making
So, that goes me back to, that the movie I was watching, and this little girl had gotten kidnapped. I'm trying to think of that Girl in the Closet, I believe it was. And part of it was the little girl who had gotten taken from her mother, and she had this prayer that she prayed every day. And it's like she prayed these prayers, this prayer every single day, all the time. And the more she prayed it, the more she was being abused, the more she was being sex trafficked, the more she was being everything. But that prayer kept her. It kept her. She knew that the day was going to come, regardless of everything she went through, she was going to get back to her mom. And to me, that's a testament that, hey, no matter what you're going through, God's going to deliver it. As long as you have that faith and believe, he's going to deliver you.
I agree. You got to keep that faith, though.
You got to keep that faith. In everything you do, you got to have that faith in God. I don't care how many times you pivot, what it is you're pivoting to, through, and part of your faith, and if you got faith in God, that faith in itself will dictate your life and your lifestyle. So you can't have faith in God and be this tyrant, this mean and evil, vicious person, this person that steps on, kicks everybody, rude and just nasty. You ain't got faith in God, because if you got faith in God, that's not how you treat people.
Right.
If you're not willing to give somebody something, you always want somebody to give you. That's not having faith in God. If you got faith in God, then you know that what little you have sometimes is always best to share and give, because whatever it is you got, you desire, He's going to provide. So, you got to know what that faith is. You got to know how to live and walk in that faith, what that means to be, a person of faith. And so that to me, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And I think that before you or when you're making those pivots, you should have these conversations with God and be like, okay, God, what is it that where would you like me to go? Where would you like me to pivot?
And you got to, when you have those conversations, you better be strong enough to understand and heed to his word. Because a lot of times, you're taught your ways are not his ways. So when you ask God,
yeah, it say his will be.
His will be done.
Not yours.
That's not yours. So you got to be strong enough to accept his will. Because his will may not be what you want now.
Oh.
Lord, hey, show me. Guide me. Lord, if it's not for me, then show me what is for me. If it's not for me, send me a sign, Lord. Let me know. And he will, if you really, really pay attention. God, this is what I desire. This is what I want. This is what, Lord, if this is for me, then Lord, allow this to happen. If it's not for me, then show me why. And whatever I desire, whatever is for me, Lord, then I trust in you to provide it and to give it to me.
That trust, man, and follow, that obedience is key. Because the more you follow and be obedient, the louder his voice and his will become. So it'll naturally get easier and easier for you to hear him. But at the same time, it's so hard to go against what you think is best for your life when it doesn't coincide with what he has for his will over your life. Yeah. When you're going completely different, or he's making you go in a different direction to what you want to go. And you like, but what I want is over there. And it's like, yeah, but what you need.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Yeah, but what I got.
And you keep running to it, and you keep running to it.
And it's like keep running to it in the goalpost.
Yes. And every time you run to it, you can't ever get there. You can't get there. You can't get there. This is why. And you lay down and you cry and you cry. It's like, okay, I'm not believing anymore. I'm just going to stop, because that's not what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. And I don't understand why God won't give it to me.
Yeah.
Because that's not his will.
It's not his will for you. And it's his will, not yours.
Yep. Been there, done that.
Been there, done. To that point of emotional maturity. I think I'm at that point, but I'm still trying to constantly figure out. I know what his will is always greater than mine, but I'm always trying to figure out, making sure that I'm actually moving in alignment with his will and not my own.
Because when you're in alignment with him and it's his will, it becomes effortless. He's already prepared it and paved the way for it.
Mm-hmm.
He'll make a way.
Okay.
You'll know when it comes together.
Okay. I'll feel it.
Yeah. He'll show you. He'll open doors that you couldn't even imagine that could be open for you. He'll put people in your life to do things for you that, wow, God, I would have never thought that this person could help me do this. Or I never knew that this person had the ability to do. God, I never, wow, you put me here to meet this person because this is what I was, he'll put you where you need to be. That's when you know it's his will. Because, see, you don't have the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the ability to do that, to open doors. We think we can, or I'm this person. I'm
a kick the door down.
Yeah, you ain't shit. I'm serious. We're not shit. We're nothing.
Compared to him and his will.
We are nothing. Nothing. We don't have the ability to do nothing without his will.
You're right. I agree. Yeah. It's just about having that faith. You got to have faith.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And all you do.
Yeah.
You got to have that faith.
All right.
I think
that belief in yourself too, but I think that strengthening that faith in that relationship is not a one-time thing. I think it's like always you're going to grow in that relationship.
Absolutely.
Like with a parent.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, now it's time for I Want to Know. This is the part of the episode where we ask each other questions that we want to know, or maybe questions that you guys have asked us that you guys want to know, and we have to answer them. So I want to know, since we're talking about pivoting and, having these conversations sometimes that you don't even want to have, or getting opinions that you might not want to hear, hearing them from your counsel. And like we explained that every successful person and king or queen, all the way back to medieval times, had counsels. So like, what do you think? I want to know, what do you think are good qualities to look for in the counsel? Or like, how do you know a person is somebody who's valuable to be on your counsel?
Well, you got to look at the life they live.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go to a person who can't maintain a relationship to get relationship advice.
Right.
I would seek out those people to be on my counsel, those people who I respect, first and foremost, for whatever reasons. I respect their values. I respect the person that they are. I respect, their grind or their hustle or the accomplishments that they've made or they've had in their lives. So those are the type of people that serve on my counsel, and those God-fearing people. You see, I sometimes when you got a counsel, you may just want to talk to a specific counsel about something you're struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk to your counsel about, a relationship issue. You want to talk to them about a spiritual issue. So you got to have a multifaceted counsel, and
I agree.
You got to have people that have demonstrated and they live those qualities. Not somebody just talk the talk, but people that you can look at and see that they walk the walk.
Ooh, I just thought about so for my counsel, like you said, I obviously have women who've been in the media industry longer than I have because I respect them and they've maneuvered this career field before me. I have a manager who's in my counsel. I have you that is a successful entrepreneur, so sometimes I actually business things. But I was just thinking about when you were talking about the qualities, as long as they got the quality, I was thinking the quality that I'm asking about, they have it. But what I just thought about is say, like you said, you wouldn't ask for relationship advice from somebody who's single, right? Mm-hmm. But or maybe that's a bad one. But at one point I didn't feel like I could ask you career advice in media because you weren't in media. So it was like, you don't really get what I'm asking about. But now I realize too that not only is them having the qualifications of that genre that you need the advice on, but also the moral compass and principles to operate from, because they're still making their decision based off of their root foundational principles. So if you don't even share the same principles or beliefs as me, I really can't trust your decision making skills, because even though I'm asking you, should I do business with this person like this or not, you might be like, no,
because they see it as some type of get over or underlying scheme or some hustle. You know, when you gotta remove your counsel has to be
same basic foundational
morals, moral compass,
and
absolutely,
principles that y'all operating on.
Yeah, absolutely,
Because that's like the basic, and then it's whatever genre.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree.
That's good. I think so the first thing is making sure your counsel, all y'all have the same basic root foundational principles and moral code.
Yes.
And then adding on to your counsel based off of the genres that they specialize in.
Yeah, I would agree.
Whether it's like, okay, I'm gonna talk to this person about God because they have a deeper relationship, or I'm gonna talk to this person about my career field because they're in that field, or this person because, you know, they make good money or financial choices, things like that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's fair. I like that.
Okay.
Well, what do you want to know from me?
Well, I want to know what caused you to make that pivot from, I guess, the radio station when you made it, because I remember for years trying to encourage you to pivot, to do something else, and you wouldn't do it. And then I respect your decision not to do it, but what was it that just caused you to say, okay, I'm out of here, I'm pivoting?
I think for me, it was a lot of different things. I was working 7 days a week. I realized how miserable I was with working 7 days a week and not having a day off. I realized that I was also the person that the station always could count on. I was always reliable. I would show up to work when nobody else would, every holiday.
So they took advantage of that.
And I felt like I was being taken advantage of, because when I needed them to show me that they valued me, whether it be in promotion or a raise, they were hesitant. And I'm like, wait a minute now. Hold up, I'm the one you can count on. Why can't I count on you guys?
Right.
So it was the lack of reciprocity that I was continuing to receive, as well as I think they just had a lack of growth and opportunity for me at that station. I still value the relationships that I've built there. I think that they were the first people or first corporation to actually believe in me and you know, allow me to cultivate my talent there. They've given me so many pointers and you know, help me build relationships from that experience. So I'm so grateful for it. But I think at some point I outgrew the opportunities that they had available for me. And I'm a person who is committed in love and obsessed with growth. And so if I'm not growing, or if I don't see room for growth, then I gotta go.
Deuces.
Yeah, so for me, it wasn't really about the finance, even though that was one of the deciding factors, or even the working 7 days a week, because I'll grind. I think the biggest thing was I don't think they have room for me to grow anywhere here. This is starting to feel like a dead end at this moment. And it's not to say that it won't, you know. I'm still Radio Bay. I'll return to radio one day.
But it'll be your own radio station.
Maybe. Maybe it might be a $200, $300 million deal with.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Okay, I can live with that.
No.
I can live with that.
Yeah. So.
But you know, I've always been one to encourage you
to do it on your own.
To do it on your own. You know, stop asking people.
I don't want to do everything on my own.
Well, fine. Then pick and choose. But just know. Well, let me say this. I've always been the one to encourage you and make you understand and realize that if you choose to do that. You're more than capable of doing it on your own.
You are, and I think that's good to know. I think that everybody should have the belief system, but you also should know that you don't have to do everything alone.
True.
And some things are not meant for you to do alone. I don't think that every idea that I have, I'm supposed to own it.
Okay, I agree. And I feel the same
And
way.
everything I execute, I don't have to have some things. Yes, I want the credit. I want my name attached to it. I want to be the CEO and I want to be the boss. Sometimes I don't want to be the boss. Sometimes I want to show up and just come here to do what y'all pay me to do
I agree.
and leave.
I agree.
Get this little money and go on about my business.
I agree.
Sometimes I don't want the stress and the overload of having to think of every single detail. I'm not even a detail-oriented person. I am a big picture person. So let me know what you want me to do. I'm going to pull up and do it, and then I'm out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think that's what I've learned. It's okay to be the boss, and it's okay for you to choose not to be.
Yeah.
It don't make you lazy. It don't make you less of. Sometimes you lean in it. Sometimes it's less stressful. The what do they call it? When you take a risk, the risk cost. When you're deciding to take a risk, it's not operational cost. I don't know. Whatever it is, sometimes it ain't worth it. Yeah, the risk versus reward sometimes don't outweigh.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, okay, I might as well just take this little reward. I don't have to be full-fledged, all hands in because the risk ain't worth it.
I agree.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. That's been another episode of Mommy and Me. Thank y'all for tuning in to this week's episode. Let us know if you have any questions that you want to know, any topics that you want us to cover, any guests that you feel like should be on here. Let us know below. Let us know. You know what I want to know? Who are some moms that you want to talk to or want to hear from? Whether it's moms that you know are moms or you like, I wish I could sit down with such and such mom. Like, I really would love to sit down with, like, Krishan Rock's mom. I know you don't know who that is. But I would like to sit down with their mom. But if you got any moms or people out there, you like, I want to hear from this person's mom. You know, ultimately, the greatest mom I think there might be out there besides you, like, in media or entertainment, I think would be Kris Jenner. I would love for us to get to the point where we sitting down with Kris Jenner.
We'll make that happen.
Yeah. You're the black Kris Jenner.
Okay. We'll make that happen.
Yeah. Just way less kids.
Way less kids.
Way less kids.
Yeah, way less drama.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe so you stay tuned and never miss a Mommy and Me episode. We're